We're gonna cover the best Javelin runway drills, and we're gonna start right now. Now, when we're talking about training for the Javelin, we have to understand that it's important to actually separate different parts of the throw. It's just like throwing the shot. It's just like throwing the discus. It's just like the hammer throw. There's points in the movement that if we can separate something like the runway work, now we can actually break down that precise movement. And then as we start to build over time, then we can start to really piece everything together. If we were training the Javelin and every single day we're going for broke, we're running full speed down the runway and we're hammering monster bombs, our body's gonna get blown to bits, okay? We're gonna blow out our back, we're gonna blow out our knees, we're gonna blow out our elbow within a very short time frame. And that's one of the key concepts behind training runway work. If we can focus on the speed, on the rhythm, on the feeling, getting into the crossover steps so that we have that good feeling, now we can actually do this full tilt over time if we're really focusing on the right movements, the right steps, the right approach. And then as we get closer to the season and we feel a little bit stronger, we feel a little bit healthier, we're able to hit better positions from the actual throw, from a 3-step, from a 5-step, then we can start to really piece everything together. We can take the 3-step, the 5-step, the 7-step, and put that into that long runway approach that we've been working on. And that's when we can really start to hit more throws later on in the year. But it's important to break these down separately early on so that you can find that rhythm and be more precision focused with your technique. One of the things that I find to be very unique in the runway approach with the Javelin is that it's sort of a combination of the drive phase or acceleration if we're talking about sprint mechanics. So if we can think about the 100 meter and we have the start and then we enter into the drive phase and then the transition into top end speed, there's gonna be different positions where you're gonna be leaning a little bit more forward, you're gonna be having a much harder plantar flexed ankle when you're in the drive phase. When you're accelerating, you're gonna have a really, really steep shin angle. And the difference here now is that when you get into maximal speed, maximal mechanics, you're gonna have a very upright posture and you're gonna dorsiflex more so when you're grounding at that top end speed. Now, the interesting part with the Javelin approach is that you're sort of combining the two. You wanna have dynamic trunk control in your upper body. You don't wanna be flailing all over the place. You don't want your arms flailing all over the place. You wanna have good posture, good control, but you wanna be a little bit more upright, a little bit more rigid, but at the same time, you will be plantar flexing as you're running. So it's setting up for this unique approach. It's not gonna be exactly what you see out on the track. It's gonna be a little bit of acceleration, obviously, because you have to get some speed, but you won't be leaning forward. You won't have that super, super steep shin angle. You will have a little bit of a steeper shin angle, but the whole focus here is that you want to have good dynamic trunk control and plantar flexion in your ankle as you get through that approach. And now we're gonna pass it over to Division I Throws Coach Scott Cappos, and he's gonna help you with some of the best runway drills that you can do to improve your runway technique.
Hey, this is Scott, and I want to show you some specific exercises we can do for the Javelin throw related to running. One of the most basic exercises we perform is a start from the carry position. I really like the high knee jogging exercise for the Javelin from the carry position. This is really similar to what we like to perform when we're actually throwing the Javelin. So after we teach the basic movements of the walk and the jog, the high knee jogging would be the next exercise we perform in our progression. When you watch the high knee jogging, you'll see the thrower staying nice and upright, but the left arm is countering across the body. That's for stability and balance. When you actually perform crossovers, we can start with a walking movement, jogging movement, but you'll notice the mechanics are more angular. So we want to keep the Javelin nice and long and steady, upper body tall. The left arm moves across the body to about the center of the sector. The right leg is going to drive up and across, toeing in. I like to teach you point the right leg down the right sector line. You want to wrap the Javelin slightly behind you. Use the left arm for a counterbalance and really paw the left foot underneath during this running motion. I like to coach these exercises on our non-throwing day in the off season. As we go in season, we might perform some of these different running exercises on a daily basis. You just have to monitor the volume of work that you're performing to make sure your athletes are fresh and ready to go for competitions.
So utilize these runway drills, make sure that you periodize everything properly, and if you're struggling with your technique, you're struggling to hit the point, you're struggling to get good footwork on the runway, make sure that you click on the link down below, head over to throwsuniversity.com, pick up our Learn to Throw the Javelin in 30 Days course that we put together specifically to help you hit those monster PRs, achieve those goals, and drop huge bombs. Until next time, guys, peace.